Welcome back, guys, to episode 5, still titled MBTI, more like MBTY Part 2, where we talk about how our MBTI personalities affect our personal relationships and life in general and question on it, hence the why. And then go deep and further with it of a summary. So let's dive in.
So, preparing for this episode, I realized a lot of Koreans are very serious about this MBTI personalities, so they had a lot of memes on Instagram. I looked them up and translated them roughly, so we can talk about it here with Cindy and Angela. Later on, I'll also be summarizing all of our MBTIs and their particular behaviors so we can analyze if they're correct or not. The first meme that I found was how a certain MBTI would behave when encountering someone they like. So, Cindy, apparently as an ENFP, you would be very talkative around the person you like. Is this true?
Yes, that's true. I keep talking and showing my interest. I think that happens. Yeah, for example, like colleagues, which I think they're interesting people. I want to be friends with them. And so what I would do is exactly that, is I would keep talking to them, even the smallest chance. Whatever they say, I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I will note it down or something like that. Just these are little comments.
Yeah.
I think that's what I do.
How to get someone to know that I like them? Mine says keep giving presents or doing things that will make someone smile. Yes, if I was rich, I will give you some presents, but I don't believe in a lot of materialistic stuff. But doing things that will make someone smile, I'm a firm believer of that. I love making people smile. That brings me ultimate joy.
What is yours? Oh, wow. Yours is interesting. You keep on questioning and keep the convo going.
Yeah.
I see that though.
I feel like unconsciously you've been doing that to me.
Yeah, it shows I like you guys,
Oh, I see. Oh, I've been a victim of that. Not a victim, like what you said. I've been the recipient. Recipient. Not a victim. Recipient. Victim of being questioned, but as recipient of being liked. Thank you.
That's so funny.
Moving on to next meme. Things we can't live without.
Mine, I need my time. I need my alone time. I need a night to myself. Just put me in my thoughts and my happy place alone. But it doesn't mean that I don't like company, but yeah.
For mine, something I can't live without is I need someone to talk to.
That's for sure. Like you would come talk, both of us. Like you'll talk about some of the concerns you have or troubles you face.
Yeah.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
Mine is being in my thoughts but not actually doing anything.
Is that true?
That could be true.
Oh,
That could
really?
be true. I imagine a lot of things and never do these things, but it just makes me happy to think that I thought about it. If that makes sense.
So you're like in your own thoughts, kind of, and you're just in your own imagination.
Yeah. The next is
So when someone does this to you, you feel that you're loved. So for me, someone's able to listen to me. I feel that I'm loved or being appreciated. And yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, I think this is like what you're good at too. I feel there's this whole thing we all do. Everyone, well, this is just my opinion, but I feel like whatever we do, we always do things that we wish somebody else would do the same for us. So, like when I read that, when you say you wish somebody would notice the little things, that's exactly what you do as a friend. You notice these little things, and I find that amazing. But you're also finding someone else to do the same thing. So I think that's interesting. And like for mine as well, I also feel the same. It says, notice something different about you. Someone is persistent with one's point of view.
So I remember translating this. It's basically like when someone has their own opinion and they're very firm about that opinion, apparently you are attracted to them as well.
Yeah,
Do you agree?
if that's an opinion I can agree with. If that's an opinion I can agree with, yes. Well, thinking about like my ideal type and all that, like, yes, I like someone who has like a goal in mind, who has like a way of looking things and they're very persistent with it. I think that's
Yeah.
very good because I'm someone who sometimes just agrees with everyone. You're like, oh, you have a good point too. Yes, you have a good point. I understand where you come from. Da da da. Sometimes I lose keeping my own point of view. Like I'm not very persistent. I get easily swayed, and I think I do find that attractive in somebody else.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Angela?
Mine is when someone contacts you when something good happens. I would say yeah, because to me, if you contact me, that means I was on your mind. I'm like, so your family member, I'm a close friend of yours that you were thinking of.
I never thought of it like that. When someone like contacts me about something good that's happened, I see it. Oh, they probably contacted me because I helped them or something. I was like a contribution to that good result. I would never think like, oh, you wanted to share it with me. That's so thoughtful. Like that would never be my priority.
The context changes when it becomes like a boasting kind of thing, because then it's like, you just want me to be jealous then. Like it's the way you phrase it to me. Then I'll be like, oh, good for you. I'm really happy for you. And thank you for sharing it. But in terms of being boastful, I had an ex-friend who one day found out she was a millionaire, called me, and she was like, oh my God, Angela, I can't believe I'm a millionaire. I thought I was like poor or something, but I became a millionaire and I'm so happy. And she kept on going on for that for 1 hour. In my head, I'm like, girl, what else do you want me to say than congratulations on you being rich? But if you contact me and said like you were trying so hard and trying to succeed at a business and you put your blood and sweat and tears into that project and it's been going well for you, and you called me to say that, be like, hey, this has been happening in my life, then I count that as a good thing. I'm very happy for you compared to someone who just boasts about being a millionaire for an hour. Yeah.
I like how you just put on the California accent for the billion part. Okay, the next one is secrets of MBTI. I'm guessing this means like our own secrets or something like that. My one says does not like big crowds of friends. That's true.
Yeah, okay. While I was researching this, I realized that Cindy's MBTI ENFPs, they tend to be very expressive, but in a crowd where, there might be more extroverts or friends, it said that
become quiet.
you would be quiet. Yeah, I was like, oh, really? I never saw Cindy in that environment, I guess, so I don't know.
That's me today. So one of my colleagues, it's her birthday. Okay. So our company celebrate the birthday by bringing cake and like letting all of us meet in the meeting room. And I know that colleague very well. And then I was suddenly asked to sing a happy birthday song. So I sang in Spanish, but I was in that room where there was a lot of people, and I'm usually quite outgoing, like sing any moment, with you two. Because I was in a big crowd and there were all my colleagues, I suddenly felt very, very
like self-conscious.
Yeah, very self-conscious. And yeah, that gave me like pressure. Put it through eventually, but that's something I realized about myself was like, strangely enough, I might be outgoing, but I don't like being in like with so many people around me, like eyeing me. Oh dear. Anyway.
For me, as an ESFJ, when I'm meeting someone that hurted me, I'll be instantly reminded of an incident of why they hurted me so deeply. And I think that's totally true. If I were to ever meet spinach and tomato again, and for those of y'all who's confused, I'm like, why is she talking about vegetables now or fruits? Listen to our episode 2 on auditioning for Friends, where you'll see how tomato and spinach ruined my life for my sophomore year. But if I ever meet spinach and tomato again in real life, I'll definitely be reminded of that incident and just like walk away. In Chinese, it'll be like 算了. 算了 means like you just let it go. You have not forgiven them, but because of time, you just let it go.
Yes.
What about you?
Although sometimes I seem like I'm deep in my thoughts, but I'm actually blanking out.
I can see that.
I guess it's true. Sometimes I don't think of anything and I'm just like, like daydreaming.
I see that a couple of times with Ha in our Zoom chats.
Oh, really?
Like she's really paying attention, but she's like doing something else.
So it's interesting you do that in daily life, not just in lectures.
Ooh, okay. The next one is how to comfort a certain MBTI crying.
This was interesting when I was researching about it. So INTPs, they don't like to be auto comforted. I guess it means like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. You know those like sayings like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. So it'd be better if someone acknowledged how I actually felt and be able to relate with me. I guess that's my way of comforting me. Let's see. Angela, you're
ESFJ. Yeah, I'm someone who compliment positivity, a knowledge of their effort. Yeah, if I'm crying, I love people just to like shower me with positivity because I'm at a dark place. I'm usually a very sunshine person. So if I'm like dark, somebody gotta lit me up. Somebody gotta bring some light in my darkness.
Yes, I learned the hard way. Thank you. Because I took the strategy that I always do with my sister, and it helps her. So I thought it was gonna work the same for Angela. I guess not. Look at this. It was completely opposite. Compliment? No, I did not compliment her. Positivity? No, it was kind of negative. It was very realistic. Acknowledge the effort. No, I didn't really quite listen to her side of things. So that's the best way to make her cry and not comfort her. Because you know what? Another way to think of this, MBTI, maybe it's not as accurate, but like if your partner or if your friend, I think it's good to know what their MBTI is. It kind of helps you to, just what I just said, like in terms of like crying or things, like how to address that, like what is their it's
comfort.
It's not like a manual, like it works perfectly, but at least having that in mind, I think it helps and it saves a whole lot of time and emotions and stuff. How about me, who made another person cry? How do you comfort me when I cry? Yeah, take my side and feed me food.
I would like to point out when we're doing Zoom podcasts and when we're having a meeting about banana corn, Cindy is always with her bubble tea or snack that she just munches on whenever we have a meeting.
I agree, giving me food and then take my side. Yes, even though there are moments like I'm even aware when I'm wrong, but just at that moment when I'm like feeling the most down, like be on my side, that makes me feel, I would wake up and realize, but I'm so grateful for it, knowing that you still supported me even though I was wrong. That comforts a lot.
I see that too. Like I also, like, if I'm wrong, I want you to be on my side when I'm crying.
Now we know. So basically now I'll just be summarizing you guys' personalities. Let's just get over with mine quickly, and then I want to dig deep into you guys later. So, quick little overview of my INTP. I mostly like to talk about things that I am interested in. If I'm not interested, apparently I don't like talking to you.
Okay.
Well, good to know our conversation has interested you.
I'm just gonna go through rapid fire. They're calm, tensions are not high, and they're very realistic. When you guys were talking about how I should comfort you when you guys are crying, I was really hesitant because I tend to be very realistic and smack reality to your faces. But I think I do control that very easily. So hopefully it's not a big problem.
No, you're a great comforter. Well, because I think Han also met me at my worst too, with like everything with spinach and tomato, and she experienced that.
True.
You guys both help me kind of not lean too much into being realistic, because sometimes I get too realistic of myself that I get really dark and like in my head. But you guys tend to be kind of like a ray of sunshine, ray of hope, that I'm just like, oh, maybe there's a chance. You guys we balance each other out.
And we're two different sunshines too. Mine's just like, go have fun in life, you only have one chance. Whereas like Angela's like, have dreams, have hopes. You can always imagine. You will meet the unmeetable. Exactly. You will do the impossible. I don't know. It's like two very different ray of sunshine, and that's good.
Yeah, apparently I don't like not being able to be alone. I don't like deadlines. I don't like wasting time on unimportant things. Oh, yeah. I don't like, what do you call these? Small talks? Yeah, I hate when someone keeps on talking to me and have no time for me to speak or to think about my thoughts. I guess that makes sense. Oh, okay. Apparently, I tend to take care of friends behind the back. I'm very meticulous and attentive to details. And
yes, I see that.
And to show love and affection, I'll appreciate it.
Love, love,
Love,
love.
love.
That's our show of affection there.
Thank you. I feel loved.
Encourage you. Yes, you did a good job talking about yourself.
I know. I was like, I'm just talking about myself. Anyways, this
Good
is
research.
next, Angela, ESFJ. So everyone close to you apparently tends to be older than you.
Recently, it seems to be true. Like all my coworkers, they're all older than me. Like I feel like I tend to make older friends. Maybe because I just love maturity. Like
I also think you like to be guided sometimes.
I love to learn from others. I love to hear their like experiences because a part of me is I hate regret, right? So, or I hate making mistakes. So, like by learning and hearing their experiences, I'll be like, oh, okay, oh, this is how this person deals with them. Okay, I can use some of their methods or something like that.
Yeah, this positive energy are around you apparently because you like feeling loved and you like loving people.
Yes, I highly agree. I hate being sad. Like every day, I want to be happy.
Bundle of positivity right there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Expressing love and thanks apparently is a must in a relationship, in any relationship. Apparently, you input as much attention and energy to a person as how much you want to receive it.
I agree with that. So, like, if I don't see as much input, I automatically know, okay, that means you're not interested in me and I don't want to waste time with you.
Okay, the next one is if you have an unsolved problem, it tends to mess up your life and routine. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I cannot sleep. I like, unless something is solved, I really just cannot move on. Like, I can't sleep. I can't really function. Like, I have to be happy again in order for me to like function again.
Yeah, apparently you also like talking about your thoughts and feelings. You need someone to relate and listen, which we both, Cindy and
Yeah.
I, it's true.
Can vouch for.
Yeah. And yeah, again, you're just positive yet delicate. So you just you need compliments, water, and sunshine on you to grow.
Yeah. I'm a plant. And yeah, I'm positive, but I'm very sensitive. I'm very overly sensitive. Yes, Han, you did a very nice job.
Awesome. That wraps up you.
Curating it.
Angela.
Yes.
Let's move on to last but not least, ENFPs. Okay, I'm going to go down and you say if you A or nay. Okay. Apparently, you're also really positive and you always smile a lot.
That's true. I have a I smile as well. And yes, I smile for the smallest things. Really weird. So A for this.
Yeah, and you get happy about things, little things in life. Baseline, every time, you're always pretty bright as a person, apparently. Okay, next, I guess, Cindy. You like to talk, but you like to also keep things private, up your dark side of other people's weaknesses and secrets, and you don't like talking behind someone's back.
Wow, that kind of hit right on the dot. I do realize like sometimes when I respond, like I always end up after conversation, I know more about somebody else than they do about me. So I guess it's like I do keep things private. I have a dark side. Yeah. There are some like past experiences that I don't mention again. Other people's weakness, secrets. That's true because I don't know somehow. I don't know if it's people feel comfortable around me or something like that, but I always hear things I shouldn't be hearing. And then I'm very observative, so I do see some of their weaknesses, but I don't tell them or straight face. I always try and help if I can to improve it. And then talking behind someone's back, yes, because that was something I was a victim of. And so I don't like it when somebody else does the same. I agree. A to this.
And I think we had covered this before. If in a place when people are talkative, you don't like to be the one who's talking.
Oh, just an example. Yeah, me and Angela, when we go out, like, I mean, sure, I can order the menu myself, but like, she's more extrovert and she just gets, she just takes the menu and she just orders the stuff on the menu. And even if it's in Chinese, she has the confidence. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just keep quiet and just be there and be like, yes, I'm your date.
We have similar tastes, so there's no food problem with us.
Like I've never fought for you for that stuff. Like I never wanted to have that role, even though I am talkative as well, but not that. Yeah,
and blanket kits. This is a Korean term, 이불킥 So it's like regretting things that you did that day. Like you're just in your thoughts and you're like, oh my God, why did I say this?
Yes, blanket kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really captures the mood. Yes, that completely like, it's so bad. Like sometimes like randomly, like I'll be talking to you here maybe like normally, and then I suddenly remember the stupid thing I did during the day.
Like randomly it just pops up.
It randomly pops in my head and it's so inconvenient. Like sometimes, it's what they did during the day. But what's the worst is when something you did like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like that pops up, maybe like embarrassing yourself in the front of the class. You can never fix that. It's years ago and it comes back to you. And I don't want that. I want like good memories to come back, not these random embarrassing moments.
How? I just forget.
I don't know what my brain does, but it just remembers because I felt that moment of regret, like regretting what I said, regretting what I did. Like I wish I was much cooler, something like that.
As I was
Oh
reading
my.
Cindy's points, I can really like see myself in some of her section points. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Cindy, from your perspective, when Han was reading ESFJs, you can see yourself in some of ESFJ points. Yeah, especially the blanket kicks, regretting what they did. Yeah, sometimes it just randomly, like especially at nighttime, it just pops
Oh,
up.
that's the worst.
And you kind of get goosebumps.
Like I don't get how you guys get
Feeling.
memories.
I don't get it either, and I don't like it either.
Like what?
Maybe it's
story?
guilt,
Like, what story is it? Like what incidents do you remember?
It's more like maybe the feeling at that mood at that time, it just comes back to you suddenly.
Yeah, for me, it's more embarrassment. I hate embarrassments. Guilt, like regrets, it's okay for me, but it's just any moments like really embarrassing. Like I would crow up. Like that's how embarrassed I am. Like I would like, oh my God, and I would crow up and I would kick myself and I would like into this little like crawl into the snail. Like that's the kind of embarrassment I hate, and that's the thing that always haunts me and just comes back at me. For example, like let's say a very stupid text in this huge group chat, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? And I can't even pull that message back, and I'm like, oh, I was so stupid. Why were you so confident to ask that? It's like that feeling. But I think the good thing that comes out of this is that you learn from your mistakes and you learn from embarrassments. So I always remember, and that teaches you even more than if somebody just gives you an advice. Yeah, there we go. That's the story. You were curious, Han, so I shared you.
I guess it's one of your memorable awkward moments.
It's the most safest one to share, okay? It was a safe one to share. There are much worse ones. I'm not going to share them just yet.
Okay.
Unless we come up with a topic on it.
Exactly. Next episode.
I don't know if you were deliberately skipping over, can't finish a topic, go on and on, or like you just forgot.
Okay, fine. Yes, I agree. Man, can't finish a topic, go on and on. It's true. Don't laugh like that, okay?
Well, I'm staring at the share screen, so I legit saw you highlighting like on it for like 20 seconds, and then suddenly you just went to blanket kick. So I was like, oh.
That skip was actually an accident. I thought I already said it, and then I just moved on.
But by skipping it, it's like it's pretty obvious. I have a problem, and it's true. I can't.
No, but I appreciate your random talking sometimes. I see how far you go, and I'm like.
But the thing is, my mind thinks this is all fine.
I love how you're like in that moment. You're so serious.
Yes.
You go onto this and this and this and this and this.
You know what it feels like? Like it feels like the movie I watched. It's like my brain has this folder, and it's like everything under, let's say, cats. Everything under cats. I can flip it through and be like, oh yeah, at this moment I had a cat, experience and this cat, whatever. And then I just find everything related to that one topic in that one file. And it's like this thick, super, super thick. And I share them. And then in my mind, that's totally normal. Like it was put into, alphabetic order and everything. But like to someone else, it's like, it's just a topic. You can finish it now.
If it's not like a designated time, for example, like a podcast, I'll be like, learn to summarize, Cindy. But real life without a podcast, I love people that can talk. And
But you see, there's the other side of me on that, is that sometimes if I was asked to summarize, I summarize too quickly and then someone else can't pick up my words. Yeah, so basically life is hard.
Answer for everything. Today. Well, basically life is hard. That's what I'm gonna use.
Right? Isn't that the shortest summary ever?
And it's so impactful. I get it. And I was like, I feel you. Yeah. Last two.
Yeah, so these two actually I can combine it because they say the same thing.
Yep.
They tend to encourage people and they are a general positive and a bright person. It's like what Cindy said before, that you guys are both bright, but it's like different types of sunshine.
Yes. 3 very different people and 3 very different MBTI personality types. So yeah, after these 2-part, one just looking at memes that everyone's made of these personality types, and then one is looking at like an overview of actually trying to understand like what is this whole general characteristics of each of these personalities. I think for all 3 of us, we can say that most appears to be very, very accurate. You know, we can relate to our own experiences. And then there are some comments where you realize, wait, like this is a bit too far and it's not really much describing me. It seems to be describing someone else. It's good to notice these differences because these are tests after all, right? We're not supposed to be taking them as a definition of yourself, but doing these, it's fun. Find out what's relatable, but then at the same time, know more about yourself by taking these tests. And then you can always use these as guidance to help you to get to know another person, to get to know yourself. And in the end, it's kind of a fun way just to get to know everyone a lot better than before and know yourself. Yeah, we had a lot of fun looking at these personality types and looking at how these memes write about us. So we hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I feel like that was perfect. Like even I was mentioning that even for us, I think these tests can, bring friends even closer. You get to know more of their strengths and weakness and what they like and what they don't like. So thank you, Cindy, for wrapping it up. And thank you guys for tuning in today's episode, part 2 of MBTI, more like MBTY. If you guys haven't listened to part 1, please check it out. And also subscribe and like and leave a rating for Banana Corn and recommend this to all your family and friends because that will be amazing. And follow us on Instagram, Banana Corn PD. And let us do our normal outro. This is us. Bye.
Bye.